Alright YouTube, so for this vlog I'll be talking about movie endings, but as promised I'll be doing the Dark Knight trilogy. I got that idea because I mentioned something about the Empire Strikes Back having a potentially similar ending to the Dark Knight. Well, it was actually someone leaving a comment on a video that I read on the Dark Knight clip that something when a scene in the Dark Knight, which I'll get into later, could have ended on that note and it would have been like the Empire Strikes Back ending. So we'll get there shortly, but I'll start by talking about the Batman Begins. And Batman Begins definitely ends on a high note as it's the first episode, the first movie of the trilogy, and I really like the ending because it foreshadows Joker, and, you know, I think Batman has an iconic line when Commissioner, or not Commissioner yet, but I'm actually forgetting his exact position, but Gordon tells him, like, you know, I never said thank you, and Batman says he'll never have to, which I think is admirable, but a little humble of Batman, so I respect that. I think it's super cool that it ends with, like, Batman working with one of the GCPD officers, even though we all know Batman and Gordon are friends in many other Batman media pieces and comics. And of course, that foreshadowing of Joker is super badass, because Joker later killed it in the next episode. Sorry, why do I keep saying episode? Oh yeah, because I was doing a lot of Star Wars videos, that's why. But the next movie, The Dark Knight, Joker sort of is left hanging there. We don't really know what happens to him, which is because of the tragedy of Heath Ledger behind the scenes, but it ends by Batman unfortunately having to break his rule and Two-Face dies, and then Gordon leaves another iconic line saying he's the hero. I am actually blanking on if it's the hero we deserve, or yeah, I forgot the exact quote, but you guys all know what I'm talking about, an iconic line, and Batman's on the run, and yeah, things go downhill from there. But I think what I was saying earlier about how The Dark Knight could have ended after Rachel's death, and with Batman looking at the cowl in his Wayne Tower next to Alfred, so I think that could have been a good ending too, maybe even better, but I still like The Dark Knight's ending, and The Dark Knight is of course one of the best movies of all time in my opinion, and absolutely love The Dark Knight Rises as well. I love The Dark Knight Rises ending even more because it's so epic with John Blake finding the Batcave, Batman potentially being still alive with Italy with Selena Kyle, aka Catwoman, although she's never referred to as Catwoman, and Alfred's fantasy being complete. And I wasn't the biggest fan of the line Robin or whatnot being John Blake's real name, but yeah, I think it's a super cool ending when he finds the Batcave, and it ends on a high note, and I think it has such a great ending that it could have picked up for the Dark Knight 4, but I also think it ended on such a high note that I don't need a Dark Knight 4, so sort of a win-win. At first I kind of viewed it as a lose-lose, but over time I reframed my perspective, and I'm happy that the Dark Knight trilogy ended the way it did. But I have seen fan art of potential Dark Knight after the Dark Knight, so I'll talk about that later, but until then my throat's a little scratchy, so thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more soon. Goodbye.